Hey everyone! In this video, I'll show you how to apply K-tape or Kinesio tape to your leg in a way that can improve walking. If you have trouble lifting your foot when taking steps, this one's for you. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Elise and I am an occupational therapist and a certified stroke rehab specialist on a mission to make stroke information simple. All right, let's get taping. Please note, don't use K-tape over sites of active cancer, skin infection, open wound, or a deep vein thrombosis. And be cautious if you have any allergies to adhesives. Talk with your doctor if you have any questions or concerns. There are two things you're going to need for your K-tape application. One is a pair of scissors, and the other is K-tape. Now, I don't have a preference for any particular brand of K-tape. There are more well-known brands like Kinesio tape and Rock tape, but the one I'm using today is called Body Sport Physio tape. This one's around $8 to $9 for a roll of 5.5 yards on Amazon, and I'll leave a link to each of the brands in the description below. We'll start off by measuring the amount of tape that you're going to need for this application. So you're going to start at just the level below your toes, where I'm pointing to here, and you'll measure all the way up to that little bony area kind of underneath your knee. You'll take your tape and do a rough measurement between those 2 points on your own leg, and it may be helpful to have someone help you with this, especially if you have one-sided arm weakness. It can be kind of hard to do on yourself. And I'm showing you here, every type of Kinesio tape is going to have this kind of grid pattern on the back. You can use that grid pattern to help you figure out exactly where you need to cut. So you did your rough measurement, and you can keep your finger there, count up the number of squares on your grid, and cut appropriately. At the end of each piece of Kinesio tape, you are going to want to round the corners. This is super important because we don't want any sharp corner of the tape. Even though it's a soft material, it can still be irritating. And sometimes those sharp corners are easier to come up than the rounded corners. You'll notice here I've got a little tiny cornered piece, sharp corner, that I'm trimming down. So make sure that you get it nice and rounded. As you can tell, it doesn't have to be perfect. Once you have both ends of your tape rounded, you can start thinking about application. Now, what I'm showing you here, the ends of the tape are going to be what's called your anchoring points. And that basically just means that's where you're going to start and stop the application. So bend the tape about 1/2 inch in, and then you're just going to rip by putting a little bit of pressure. You're not actually ripping the tape, you're just ripping the paper. That's keeping the adhesive from getting all over everything. And you're going to do that to both sides. This is going to make your application a little bit easier. When you have your anchoring ends prepared, you'll want to put your foot into a position of what's called dorsiflexion, which is where your ankle is bent up. And you're going to remove that paper backing from the back of the first anchoring end, and you're going to place that first end just below the level of your toes, like I mentioned at the very beginning, and you just want to rub that anchoring point down. Once you've done that, you can start ripping off the paper backing of the middle section of your kinesiology tape. And from this point, you are going to put a bit of stretch on the tape. And that stretch is going to provide that activation, that proprioceptive input, or that input to your joint, telling it to lift up that foot, keep your ankle in that position. So you're going to put something called a 50% stretch, not too little, not too much. You saw how I just stretched out that tape and put that last anchoring point on. You'll notice there's a space in between the tape and my leg that is purposeful. When we're ready to push the tape down, you're going to, or have someone help you, push your foot down into plantar flexion, or where you're bending your ankle down. And from there, you're going to push that tape flat against your skin. And the tape is, or the adhesive of the tape is activated by heat. So you want to rub it so that it will actually adhere to your skin and kind of stick on. You can keep the K-tape on for a few days. The ends may start to curl up after a few days, and that's usually a sign it's time for it to be removed. You want to make sure that you're checking your skin daily for any adverse signs and remove it immediately if you start seeing redness, experience itching, burning, or any other signs of skin irritation. The best application of this tape is followed by actively trying to engage in tasks or activities that promote this corrected movement. So if you put your tape on, get up and walk around the house or go to your mailbox if it's safe to do so or you have someone to help you. K-tape isn't a magic cure or a fix-all, but it can provide you with a cue to lift your ankle when you're walking. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to get more content like this, and remember to leave a like if you found this video helpful. I've got a link to each of the brands of Kinesio tape that I recommend down in the description below, and I'm also leaving a link to my free ebook, The Stroke Recovery Pocket Guide, if you'd like a little more guidance on your recovery. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.